Everybody just got back from a somatic healing class and a trip down to the local herb store. Got to eat tahini cookie and lion's mane mushroom chocolate. Sitting here petting my dog before bedtime. Don't want to go to bed too early because then I gotta wake up too early. What to share. I like the idea of learning and then sharing what I learned. So a lot of the thoughts I speak of are coming from things that I'm studying, listening to, or attending, and getting it back out there. So my version of it and what rings true for me. We're talking about the belief systems that we get from our parents, from our ancestors, inherited beliefs. And then I come home and the YouTube videos also about that, and the technique he mentioned is very much like CBT, which I have worked a lot with, probably should work with more now, where we label a thought and then we rewrite a helpful thought. We can thought check it too. Our thought could be like, I always attract the wrong person. That might be true, but what if we could relabel it to, I deserve a loving and kind partner? Or I'm okay being on my own until the right person comes and finds me. I trust that I will always be loved and respected. I'm grateful that I was able to get out of a relationship that wasn't helping me anymore. It may not have been my fault that it all went wrong. Maybe it was both of us, and maybe I've learned the lesson so I don't have to repeat it again. I am a terrible dog mom. Well, that's something I can work on, but I have friends that say I'm a good dog mom. And so, counting that kind of evidence, it doesn't mean when we change our thoughts that we don't keep working on ourselves. The world is an unsafe place, okay? The world is full of beauty, and many people experience safety. And I can too. I take terrible care of myself. I have all the knowledge and wisdom and resources it takes to nurture myself in all the ways that I need. I am part of the problem. I am taking steps every day to be a part of the solution. People don't like me. It's okay that not everybody likes me. It is not my responsibility to make everybody like me. It is my responsibility to show up, be the best version of me, and if that crosses other people's idea of what they want or what they think they need from me, that's their problem, and I will not take it personally. Yes, I will work to rectify any issues that come up, but if people are angry with me for no good reason, that is not my issue, and I will not take that on. I have so many people that love me dearly, and I am enough to them, and I'm working on improving. I will never be abundant. I may have no savings, but I have a roof over my head. I feed myself really, really well. I have dog insurance, I have life insurance, I have a job, I have disability. That disability check hopefully will last me the rest of my life. I don't have to be rich to matter. I can give a little bit of money to charity and not feel greedy about keeping the rest for myself. Self-care is not selfish. It's okay to take time to rest and heal. I don't have to believe everything that everybody else tells me is true just because it's true to them or they think it's true for me. I am not in the unsafe place that I used to be. I'm not in the abusive relationship. I'm not addicted to drugs. I'm not homeless. I'm not a helpless child. I am a responsible, mature adult. And in the ways that I am not, I will figure it out. See, some people, they don't like affirmations because they feel like they're lying. And that's okay. I think we each choose what works for us. So if this method doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. Sometimes I just visualize, like the guy talks about visualizing for 5 minutes a day, feeling like these things are already true for you. I used to do that a lot. When I want to manifest something, I close my eyes and try to visualize having it. I wanted a hair clip the other day, so I visualized it, and then the day later that day or the next day, I find one on the ground outside. And it's funny because my friend goes, "You better wash that, it might have lice in it," and I'm thinking, no. If I manifested it, whoever gave me this is not going to give me lice, so it's pretty funny, but fair enough. That's her experience and her belief. So going to this class and being put through this guided meditation. My dog's chewing her bone. Sorry if that's loud. This guided meditation, and the teachers is like getting us to talk to our inner child, like tell ourselves like you're safe, you know, the world is beautiful, you can rest, it's okay, you are loved, you are enough, right? And I'm going through this meditation and I'm just bawling my eyes out. And what was really beautiful actually is I'm like remembering all this trauma that I went through, like, you know, being a kid and having parents that drank a lot and party a lot. Thankfully they got over it and they still loved us, but still did a good job caring for us, but it was a little bit not healthy, and they learned. Thank you. And you know, just being a kid and worrying, having dreams that my family will leave me to my grandparents' house and without me, and just, you know, being a teenager and suicide attempts and running away from home. And then all of a sudden I'm actually remembering that in each of those moments that there was so many loving people around me that helped me through it to the next stage, and I'm still alive, and I'm 39 years old and healthy for the most part. And so I'm like remembering how much my parents loved me. I'm like remembering camping and being under the stars and, you know, hanging out with our friends. And like I remember like running away from home and, you know, using drugs, but like the friends around me were like, hey, I care about you, even when we weren't healthy together. And like just these mentors in my life that stepped up in different parts of my life. And I'm always remembering like that no matter what the trauma I was going through, there was always people around me that loved me. And I found that was so beautiful, and I started to like visualize all these people in each of those traumatic moments, even people that disappointed or abused me. I was seeing the love that they showed me at times, and the lessons they were teaching me, and the beauty in the moment that actually kept me going through all of it. And all the people right now that were like supporting me and guiding me, and like I thought that that was really beautiful. And I feel like that's the same for all of us. Like, I don't think I know a single person that has been through trauma that didn't have people in that moment that loved them. And that was really cool, you know? And so being able to sit and talk to our little child inside and say whatever you imagine you would say to a loving, hurting child, you know, you can talk to yourself like that. It's like, I love you. I see you. You deserve to be here. You are blessed. You have gifts. I see your potential. I feel the love in your heart begging to express itself, or maybe it's already radiantly expressing itself. And hey, you made some mistakes. That's okay. That's how we learn. Nobody is perfect, you know, and really just like, why do we have to be so hard on ourselves, so unforgiving, so cruel? Why do we talk to ourselves as if we're our enemy when we should be our best friend, right? And learning the positive self-talk and identifying beliefs that are not helpful and often not true. And we can wake up tomorrow and believe a new belief. We can wake up tomorrow and see the world through different eyes. We can see the suffering through eyes of compassion and empathy, and find ways to help. We can teach others what we've learned, and learning to like stop today and for 10 minutes at home, lay on the back with my back on the floor and my feet on the ground, and moving my knees back and forth so slowly for 5 minutes. And then putting the bottoms of my feet together and moving my knees up and down really, really slowly, to the point where they start shaking, and I start shaking off that trauma like an animal does when he outruns danger and shakes it off, and my dog does all the time. And just moving my head or my arm in circles slowly, mindfully feeling my body, letting the tears roll down my cheeks, acknowledging the suffering that I've been going through and holding it with grace and compassion, and moving through it and sitting with it to feel it, instead of just being on technology. And then going on the bus, and the whole way downtown, I'm putting my phone away, looking out the window, being in the present moment, looking at the trees, looking at the houses, imagining what they're gonna look like in the spring, and just really like being here now, and not having to constantly be busy, constantly be doing something, or being on technology, or pretending like I need to be productive all of the time, calling a friend today to talk about these things and learn from them. And learning that we are full of so much programming that says we have to constantly be busy and doing things. And thanks to my friend for talking to me about this, like, oh, I need to do breathing exercises, and then meditation, and then visualization, and then affirmations, and then watch a YouTube video, and then post a YouTube video, and then go on Facebook and write a poem, and then write a song, and then check my Facebook to see who read my songs, and then read the comments, and then read someone else's Facebook in hopes that I find some sacred knowledge that's going to change my life in an instant. It's just like exhausting. Like, why can't I take a while and look out the window for a while and just remember what it was like to be a kid before technology, just camping with the family and being in nature and sitting in front of the fire and just listening to the birds, and like can't we get back to those moments at times? Can't we remember what it means to be human at times? Do we really have to be people pleasing all the time, being what everybody else expects from us, what they want from us, trying to do what everybody advises us to do? It's exhausting. And so I think the herbs and the chocolate were nice. The lion's mane, super grounding. The tahini cookie, and just really like being in community and talking to the staff and being like, honestly, I'm really struggling, you guys. And like hearing their opinion, and the girl goes, hey, like, I think the answer is inside of you. I think this is something you have to walk alone. And that can be really scary. It can be like, well, but I just want someone to tell me what to do. I just want someone to tell me what to believe. And it doesn't mean like I can't take their advice. Okay, and I walk Luna, but like, I like to get home, make these videos while I pet her, have some food. Otherwise, if I don't eat before I walk her, I just kind of don't eat after. And so sometimes I put my needs first in these videos, and then I want to like keep her up a little while longer, because if we walk too soon, then we got to wake up too early. And so we do what works for the whole family. And not being constantly guilty of like shaming myself for these unhealthy coping mechanisms too. They talked about that, because like they do help us cope, and they're our gateway to get us through the experience for a while until we find a better way to cope. So if you're on drugs or you're drinking or smoking, like, don't shame yourself, really. Like, just acknowledge, like, okay, this is helping me cope, so that's a good thing. But what would be this guy at the gym, I love it. He has a shirt that says, it's good to be good, but it's better to be awesome, or something. And I think that's really cool. And it's so true. I feel like there's always someone suffering more than us. There's always someone more joyful from us, and that's maybe the way it's always going to be, and we need to accept that. Do we have to be the most productive, joyful person in the world? Like, yeah, that'd be amazing, but like, geez, we are so blessed. We are so blessed. And like, oh my gosh, like, the tools and the opportunity to learn the tools and apply them, and to study like what's really going on, and to like really step into like our power. And like, if I hadn't gone through all that, I wouldn't be who I am today. And like, that's a huge blessing. And like, I don't want to be who I was when I was a teenager. I don't want to be who I was when I was a child. Like, I thank God I'm an adult and can like make responsible decisions sometimes, and like take the matters into my own hands and be like, hey, like, I got this, and it may be freaking hard, and it may be painful, and I might have to cry, and I might have to be on my knees, and I might need to like beg for help at times, but then at times I'm like just relieved, like, oh my God, look what I got through. And like, I'm not as big a part of the problem as I used to be. I used to be a huge part of the problem, putting my family through complete agony all the time, worrying if I would ever get through it. And they still worry, but they don't worry like they used to worry, when they're like, oh my God, is she gonna die? Where is she? What is she doing? Why is she doing drugs? Why doesn't she care about school, work? Why is she hanging out with these people? And just really acknowledging that, like, hey, like, maybe the answers are in me. Maybe I can ask for help in a meditation, in a prayer, and also listen for my own inner guidance. Okay, guys, I'm going. Signing off. Good night. Love y'all.